I think the first time I heard your name, that I like really heard your name, was you had a meeting set up with me and Matt. You had paid to have a meeting with me and Matt Kafora.
Right.
And we got into a room and we actually, virtual room through Zoom. Mm-hmm. We got in a room and we talked through some of the stuff. I think back then you were like at 20,000 or 22,000, something like that. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Right.
And the next thing I know, I hear your name again and you're on pace to do 70,000. Mm-hmm. And it was like 80 days later, 90 days later. What were some of the biggest changes that you've made? What was the switch? Or walk me through it so that if I, let's say, have a gym or someone listening in has a gym and they're in your spot today, help them walk through what you did so they can start following and get there.
So there was a lot of moving parts here. There's a lot to unpack, but we basically used the shutdown as a rebirth. Everything from our logo, the name of our gym, we dropped gym from our name, you know. Okay. And we really defined who we serve and almost more importantly, who we don't serve. And the way that we structure our offer, I mean, literally everything changed. The staffing, the offer.
Like, tell me about the offer. What did you change about the offer that was so noticeable?
So prior to the pandemic, it would be a pretty hard close on a 6-week challenge. And
so you were doing challenges.
Pretty much, right.
Yeah, that's a rough game.
And group training. And, you know, we closed them that day. Well, now it's more of a prescriptive, customized, personalized 7-day onboarding. There's it's a lot lower barrier to entry. So it's more scalable. It doesn't rely on the talent of closing as much.
Okay.
So that was huge.
So it's easier for your people to sell.
Right. Easier to implement.
Do you find the challenges are harder to sell? Long term, not just the initial.
Yes.
Long term?
Because you're selling to the same people that probably bought the Thigh Master in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
They're looking for a quick fix, but they're not invested in fitness.
It's not part of their routine.
Right. So making the onboarding process easier. I mean, there was so much rebranding, going all in on who we serve, and that's the longer that we've been in business, the more that we realize that our ideal client is really 35 to 55, probably haven't been in shape since high school, and don't really know how to get held accountable, really. And those are the best customers, ironically. And you know, watching the GSD show over the years, I've learned a lot about demographic and psychographic and a lot. It validated a lot of the reasons why we were going that direction, anyways. So it was literally like, okay, we're shut down, and if it wasn't for my wife convincing me, no, we can spend 5 times more in rent because we will make this work. You know, back against the wall, there's no other option. So then it was, okay, so how can we go from what used to be a $30, $40 a month gym to now our standard membership's $300 a month.
So 10 times more money per member per month.
That's right.
Right. And also because you're getting a different member, you have ancillary sales that are going to happen a lot easier because the $30 guy is not going to spend as much outside of the membership like the $300 guy would. Ancillary
sales are huge. We sell anywhere from $10,000 to $12,000 a month in ancillary sales, from First Form products to shirts and hats and all that stuff. Where prior to the pandemic, it was virtually non-existent.
Yeah. First Form being the supplements. Everybody doesn't know that's Andy Frisella's company, right? I heard good things about him too. Mm-hmm. So how do you sell a $300 person? Apparently, you're saying it's easier. By the way, I agree with you. Mm-hmm. You're saying it's easier to sell a $300 membership than a $30 membership after a challenge. So walk me through it. What's my journey like? How did I even hear about you? Is it a Facebook ad? Is that most likely how I heard about you?
Right.
Okay. So I saw a Facebook ad. What's the ad generally calling me into?
So typically it's a 7-day experience,
Okay.
with a different wrapper every 2 to 4 weeks, depending on how our offer's doing. But
Got it. Okay, so now I take advantage of the offer. I fill out the form. Either I call you or you call me, correct? And then from there, you're scheduling me to come in.
right.
Are you guys using the credit card to confirm?
Actually, no. Our show percentage, the lowest I've seen in the last 3 months is 61%.
For shows?
Right.
Okay, that's not bad for the industry. But now that we're here and I know that, I'd like you to be closer to 85.
Okay.
So we have some studios. We actually have one. I was looking at the numbers yesterday. It's an I Love Kickboxing studio out in Houston. It's actually the one I was out there for.
Okay, yeah.
100% show ratio. It was 91 leads. It was 41 books, 41 shows, 32 closes.
Wow.
Yeah, but credit cards work.
Yeah.
Yeah, credit cards work because it's just usually it's not that big of a bother, but when you think about it, you're closing pretty well. Your close ratio is probably really good.
Very good, yeah.
Close ratio is good. On top of your close ratio being good, your dollar per sale is good, very good,
Right.
and your retention is probably good because those people are easier to hang on to.
That's
You
right.
probably noticed that.
That's right.
So that means that if you can take your closing or your show ratio from 60% to 80%, that's a 33% increase technically,
Right.
right? So 33% more people to close at the rate that you're closing, to sell at the dollar that you're selling, and to retain at the retention that you're retaining,
Right.
right?
Right.
So side topic, that's the next thing we work on.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I like it.
So, but your show ratio is good. I mean, for the market, it's good, especially right now with everything that's happening. So that's good. So you got people that come in. Once I'm in there, what am I going through? What's my experience?
So you're greeted by my front desk staff. It could be my operations manager Devin. It could be my fitness coordinator Jackie. Just depends on which side of the day you get in there, and it's really a get to know this individual. Most people walk into a fitness facility with all types of barriers. They're scared. They're nervous. They're unsure. And it's just gaining their trust, getting to know what's the main objective, and then showing them the Iron Den way. And really, it's a very low pressure layup, is what I call them, because they're there for 30 minutes to talk really about them. And
So is the first 30 minutes is just talking? There's no workout yet?
that's right.
Yeah.
So
what are you going over with me in that 30 minutes?
we use an intake form. And a lot of times they'll put enough information on there to get the conversation greased up. But we're trained to dig deeper and get to the painful reasons as to why they're there.
Yeah.
And then based off of their schedule, their particular needs, we'll pair them with a coach, and then that coach is gonna schedule their first personal training one-on-one, and really be their liaison to the whole program itself. It's really that dedicated coach that makes the difference.
Good. Now, for everyone listening too, it's very important that we get really good. I think when people start listening to information or reading books, whatever they learn, that's what they're going to do the next day. And it's really important that you understand the differences in, like, okay, what's the lesson I could take from here? Maybe it's not exact. So Billy's gym is not a group class style, right? It's not like where there's going to be 36 people in a class all running from one instructor, right? Running that play.
It used to be, yeah.
Used to be, but now it's not, right? And so those are going to be $99 to $199 memberships. They're not as personalized. These are very personalized. So if you're a $139 group spin class, I don't suggest you spend a half hour with them in the very beginning. But when you're selling programs like Billy's selling, $300, you do month to month, or is there contract?
So it's $69 a week.
$69 a week.
And,
okay.
We ask for 12 weeks minimum, and
There
then
you go.
it's
So it's a 3-month.
30-day notice from there. So it's kind of a 4-month off the jump. And
Right. So about $1,000, right? So when you're doing that, that makes sense to spend that time earlier on, because you're actually closing the sale before you even take them in the gym, or you're selling them before you get in the gym. You're closing them at the end, but you're selling them. They're already pre-sold. before they lift their first weight. I'm assuming their mindset's there.
Right,
Yeah?
right.
Good.